Dear students, today we are going to start with a new chapter from Science Part 1, that is metals and non-metals. During your study of 9th class, you might have studied about various elements, and you must also know that various elements, different elements can be classified as metals and non-metals. Yeah, those can be classified as metals and non-metals on the basis of their properties. The properties of metals and non-metals. By this feature, you can classify the elements. So, first we will know what are the physical properties of metals and non-metals. Metals. First we will go on with metals. The easiest way, the simple way to start grouping substances is by comparing their physical properties. How you can group the substances? You can group the substances by comparing each and every physical property. How you compare? By taking the one, you compare with the another. By this you can group the substances. Here I am going to tell you some examples of metals. Now, as I am explaining about metals, you must know some metals name. So, some metals are iron, copper, aluminium, magnesium, sodium, lead, zinc, and there are many other metals. So, few I have mentioned here. And here is an important point to know that metals during their pure state, during their pure basic state, they will be having a shining surface. You can find very shining, it will be shining, it will be looking very shining. And that shining surface is called as metallic luster. So when the metal is in the pure state, it will be having shining surface. Means the outer part of it will be shining of the metal. So that property is known as metallic luster. Okay. So next, metals are usually hard. So there are different types of metals. So the hardness of the metals can change by the quality of the metals. And some metals can be beaten into thin sheets. They can be beaten. You know how they will be? You must know it very well. They will be beaten into thin sheets. And that beating of metal into thin sheets is called as malleability. The metals can be beaten into thin sheets. That property is known as malleability. Okay. So some metals can be drawn into thin wires. Now, as I told, it can be beaten into thin sheets. Now some metals can be beaten into thin wires, very thin sort of wires. That property is known as ductility. Okay. Here I have a thing to share with you all. Gold. You know gold, sunna. It is a ductile metal. Ductile metal means it is gold you can find into thin strings, wires. Okay. So gold is a ductile metal. You all might be surprised, right? That a wire about 2 kilometer length, the wire, gold wire of 2 kilometer length, can be drawn from 1 gram of gold. 2 kilometer of wire is 1 gram of gold. Okay, this is something which you all have to know. Why it is so? It is so because of malleability and ductility. Because of malleability and ductility, the metals can be given different shapes according to our needs. If we want sheets, we can beat it and make into sheets. That process is called as malleability. If we want it to be found in wires, thin wires, you can also find that process is known as ductility. And metals. Now we were studying about physical properties of metals. So metals are good conductors of heat. Means they are powerful conductors of heat, and they also have a high melting point. As they are a very good conductor of heat, they must be having high melting points. If you keep the flame high, the burner high, the metals can sustain it. They can sustain it. Who can sustain? Metals can sustain it. So the good conductors of heat among the metals are silver and copper. Silver and copper are the best conductors of heat, whereas lead and mercury are the poor conductors of heat. Okay. So you must also have seen in your houses and all the wires, the current wires will be having a coating. The outer part is called as coating. Will be having a coating of PVC or a rubber like material, something like rubber like material or PVC. Yes or no? Why are those electric wires having that coating? Why does the electric wire have those coating and all? So this happens because when metals strike a harder surface, when those metal will strike a harder surface, when it will get dashed or it will get touched with a hard surface, they produce a sound. They give us a sound. They emit a sound to us. The metals that produce a sound, those metals which produce a sound on getting touched to another hard surface, it is called as sonorous metals. That metals are called as sonorous. So this is all about metals. This is some important types, some important points about metals. So you can refer your textbook page number 37, 38 and the 39th starting part for knowing more about metals. Now let's go and start with non-metals. What are non-metals? So non-metals, I'll give you some important points about it. There are very few non-metals as compared to metals. So I've told you many examples about metals. Those examples of metals are, once again I'll repeat you all: iron, copper, aluminium, magnesium, sodium, lead, zinc and so on. So compared to metals, non-metals are less. So which are non-metals? I'll tell you: carbon, sulfur, iodine, oxygen and hydrogen. These are some types of non-metals. These non-metals are solid or gases. Only one non-metal, which is bromine, it is a liquid. Rest all non-metals are either solid or gas. It is found in a solid state or gaseous state. Okay. So, yes, my dear students, during the explanation of physical properties of metals, I had told you that mercury and lead are the poor conductors of heat. Yes, mercury exists solid at room temperature. During the room temperature, mercury will be at solid state. Even I had explained you all regarding that the metals are having high melting points, but gallium and cesium have low melting points. These two metals will melt. These two metals, if you keep on your palm means hand position, those will melt. Iodine is a non-metal, but it is a lustrous. Iodine is a non-metal and it is lustrous. I have told you that metal in their pure state will have the shining surface. That property is known as metallic luster. Carbon is a non-metal. I had explained you during the examples of non-metal. It exists in different forms. Carbon exists in different forms. Each form, it has different forms. So each of the form is called as an allotrope. Diamond is also an allotrope of carbon. This is very important for you all to know that diamond is an allotrope of carbon, which is the hardest natural substance. So diamond is a natural substance. Even it is the hardest natural substance which is formed by an allotrope of carbon. And diamond is also very high. It is having a very high melting and boiling point too. It is having a melting point, high melting point, and it is having a high boiling point also. So here's another example, graphite. Graphite is also an allotrope of carbon, and it is also a good conductor of electricity. Metals like lithium, sodium and potassium are soft. These metals are soft. They can be cut with a knife. They can easily cut with a knife, or they can be cut also with a scissor. They can be cut with a scissor because these are having very low densities and their melting point also is very low. Lithium, sodium and potassium can be easily cut because they are having very low densities and their melting point is also low. So you can classify metals and non-metals on the basis of their chemical properties. I've told you how it can be classified. So there are some features of metals. Here are some features of non-metals. Non-metals will produce acidic oxides, and those acidic oxide will easily dissolve in water, whereas metals give rise to basic oxides. Okay, non-metals will produce acidic oxides which dissolve in water, and most of the metals will give rise to basic oxides. Not all the metals, most of the metals will give rise to basic oxides. So here's the end of the class. I hope you all have understood the physical properties of metals and non-metals. I hope in the next class we will know about the chemical properties of metals. In that we are going to learn what happens with metals when burned in air, what happens when metals react with water, what happens when metal reacts with acids. Okay, and another part, how do metals react with the solutions of other metal salts. The reactivity series, the series of reactivity. Okay, these all we'll be studying in the next session. I hope you all understood this. Thank you for attending the session.